flame reveal.
Alright, Lord Raymond holds a shipping manifest in his well-manicured hands. Despite his expensive clothes, he has the sallow complexion and restless air of a man who devotes all his days and most of his nights to work. If you have business to discuss, make an appointment with my attendant. I don't have time for unexpected visitors. I've uncovered a plot to rob you. He lowers his papers and looks at you for the first time. Is that so? Let me see that. He scans the parchment with the speed of an expert clerk. When he returns his attention to you, his tone is brisk and businesslike. You have done this house and this city a great service. I'm certain you will consider this an adequate reward for your labors. This letter was signed AD. Does that mean anything to you? I suspect it means Aurecan Doemel, the scion of House Doemel. A look of disgust crosses his face. A pampered lad if ever there was one. He's ruthless, I'll give him that much. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the wits to match his appetites. What will you do now? Lord Raymond pinches crisp, sharp creases into the note. Eliminate the competition. Tell me about your enemies. They were once an eminent and admired house. Now they're just a den of thieves. Back in the Deerwood colonial days, the Doemels were respected members of the ducal court, which is why it was so surprising that they remained loyal during the rebellion. When Hadred and the Deerwood won independence, the Doemels lost their favor but not their wealth. Rather than return to Aether like other loyalists, they dug their heels here and turned from politics to commerce. He shrugs. In one way of looking at it, they simply partnered with the wrong side. Not that they haven't prospered since in their own way. He rubs his jaw. Lately, they've been seeking to carve out a new niche for themselves, one right between the Crucible Knights and the Dozens, it seems. What's so important about the gem? The hearth of the White March is a nearly flawless diamond. It's also a patrimony of the dwarves of the White March. It was seized by an Idirian lord in the early days of colonization, and the dwarves haven't forgotten it. Now the knights and the dozens are both bidding for it to make a peace offering to the dwarves. He shrugs. Whichever party buys it, the dwarves will make useful allies for Defiance Bay, especially these days. Major Adventure expires in 25 hours. Isn't that great? Fuck. Let's go upstairs. Let's wait on that adventure until the last minute. The old serving woman regards you obliquely, begging your pardon, but I'm afraid I have to ask you downstairs. Visitors aren't permitted to the upper floor. Okay. Next quest. Fugitives from Dunryd Row. Hadred House in Brackenbury. Let's go there. As you near the apparition, you are overcome suddenly by a powerful anxiety that sits like a stone in your stomach. The feeling is not quite real, the recollection of an emotion rather than the emotion itself. It wrenches your insides nevertheless. The apparition brow is tensed, a look of concern playing across its face.
The other missionaries say you have been neglectful of your duties.
They lie.
They speak out of concern for you. Now tell me, is there something to their concerns?
The pain in your stomach deepens, and you feel for a moment as though you are about to be sick. Your mouth has gone dry. Forgive me, Eminence, I wish to leave the order. The Thaus folds his fingers together and presses them to his mouth, thoughtful.
You have been an apt student, and your convictions have inspired those around you. May I ask what has changed to make you feel this way?
I've done something unforgivable. The apparition exhales slowly and its lips press together, a sympathetic rapport in its eyes. It places its hands on your shoulder.
I see. And you would cast yourself out, is that it?
What I've done, no god would have me now.
If you believe that, then I have failed you as a teacher. There are many gods so that all people are looked after, no matter who they are or what they've done. The only ones who need fear anything are those who abandon their gods, thinking all is lost. But for those who beg help and forgiveness, the gods always provide.
But only for the deserving.
I will tell you the truth. There may be some among the gods who would see you punished. But after punishment comes absolution, redemption. Whatever stain there is upon your soul, the gods can wash it clean. But you must dedicate yourself to them in return. That is what makes one deserving. Will you return the faith they put in you?
The knot in your stomach seems to loosen all at once, and the anxiety is replaced with something else entirely, something warm and soothing, and it is something you know you can never repay. As the vision fades, you start to become cognizant of the many odd looks aimed in your direction. Your last response echoes in your mind, I will, and then I'll die.
Hey.
Okay. Assassins. They're not very good
Let's
assassins.
see what lies this way.
Are they? Let's fight them.
Leave it to me! All right, then. Following your lead. Turn! right then. On your word. Roak 10! Will they answer Wu?
Holy shit.
All right then.
Damn, man.
Fuck. This guy got cut.
Hey,
There's no way I can pull him out.
this thing isn't doing the job.
Shit. Fuck me in the ass. And that's it. Pull back.
Following your lead.
Useless.
Will they answer Wu? Stand still.
Damn, man.
Hey.
What is it?
Hey.
Damn, missed.
Of course. Hey.
Ah, got it.
All right then.
Okay. Nice.
Huh?
Well,
Following your lead.
eh?
Hey.
Okay, let's enter this house then.
Time to see and not be seen.
So always assume a hostile environment. Dunryd agent.
They won't see me coming.
Kuren.
Good day, stranger.
The Orland man is surrounded by books and scrolls. His weary hair stands nearly on the end. His ears prick as you approach. You carry whispers, get Nua, gilded veil, old voices indeed. How did you know? The Orland grins, revealing a row of dagger-pointed teeth. As a cipher, it's my job to know these things. You carry a whiff of ancients. What else can you tell me? His ears twitch downward, not as much as I would like, unfortunately. My duties for Lady Webb require me to focus my talents elsewhere. He regards a table piled with scrolls. What brings you to Dunryd Row? I was invited here by Lady Webb. Karen cocks his head to one side as if trying to get a better look at you. Forgive me, she hasn't taken on many visitors, but the ones she does invite are a fascinating lot. I've always been marveled at her choices, nothing in common to my eyes, but her sight is far keener than mine. I wonder what else she sees. Her room is upstairs, the one with the guards out front. The city may not understand her value, but the Duke certainly does. It looks as though you could use some help. So many secrets and trails in the city. You have to but turn a corner to find a fresh trace of something stolen or someone missing. He flicks an ear. Unfortunately, we haven't the time to investigate them all. I am supposed to be working on other matters, but my mind still lingers on a few recent cases. Course of a cipher to be ruled by the whims of curiosity. Tell me about them. One case or three, depending on how you look at it. He taps his clawed fingers together. 3 weeks and a disappearance at the end of each. Some might call it coincidence, I call it a clue. Lady Webb knows you, trusts you, so I shall trust you too, as long as our interests are aligned. Look into it. Where should I start? He grins, razor-tipped teeth showing between his lips. Copperlane, Andra's gifts, and Brackenberry, of course. Talk to the ones who reported the disappearances, the only ones who know enough to care. Laura, Ollie, and Elka. Who is missing? 2 men, 1 woman, Lendry, Kendall, and Cora. Tell me about Lendry. Best to ask Ollie. Seems they drank together at the Salty Mask in Andra's gift. Also, seems no one else knew him well enough to miss him. Tell me about Kendall. Reported missing by Elka, a dwarf who carried traces of. He closes his eyes and sniffs the air. Fine wine and young dandies. Plenty of time and money to spend on her pleasures. Try Brackenberry. Okay. Tell me more about Cora. Sister of Laura, one of the merchants in Copperlane's bazaar. Not the kind of person who would disappear, it seems. Did you find any leads? No, not yet. No obvious connection between the victims, which is what makes me wonder so. He runs his hand along the length of one ear. Could be animancy related. Researchers always need subjects. The less scrupulous types in particular. He pauses deep in concentration. Seems too risky for the sanitarium, but no one ever knows. He waves a hand. Talk first to the people who reported our victims missing. Mayhap you will catch something I missed. Let's talk out something else. Yes, of course. Tell me more about your skills. I check for souls connections, looking for lost things, missing things, or troublesome things. Particularly where people of power and influence are concerned. I am a cipher. In Air Glamfad, we were once known as Brizgachrin, Mind Hunters. Nice title, yes, but it wasn't until the Animancers began working with my kind 40 years ago that we truly understood our power. Now we make some of the best detectives in the world. Tracing souls, we can look at a person and see where they have been. Or look at a weapon and see who has touched it. His nose twitches as he looks at you. Useful for solving crimes, as you can imagine. Okay. Interesting.
Keeping an eye out.
So this is actually a police station. Who knew?
Quickly and quietly.
Hey.
Easy
All right then.
peasy. Okay, let's go and talk to Lady Webb then. Still no level up. Why? 1,000 experience left. Yeah, I'm guessing once I level up I can hire a level 6 person, which will definitely be an improvement over
Margaret's fire casts
current
light in dark places.
companion. Lady Webb will see me when I won't see her.
And what does the flame reveal?
What does the flame reveal? Okay, let's see. Lady Webb. Shoot her in the face, not really. But she looks
Time to see and not be seen.
fairly well for a supposed corpse,
Hey.
walking
All right
corpse.
then.
This woman clutches a thick stack of parchment with splendidly wrinkled fingers, their flesh stretched thin to near translucence with extreme age. A gossamer veil over the pale blue veins, ink splotches and candle burns, and the scars of innumerable slices from the edges of scrolls dot and stripe her hands like a quilt patterned after some great indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aothis look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.
Kana leans in toward you, a meager trick given Ketsunua's fame.
And this fiasco in the sanitarium that you seem to have gotten yourself into the middle of. What in blazes possessed you to stir that nest of trouble?
I'm investigating a strange group.
Strange does not begin to describe them. The practices of the Leaden Key defy all reason. You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, we only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend, which I suppose means we have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this. I thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the Leaden Key?
One of their members caused my soul to awaken. I need to reverse it. She closes her eyes and lids flicker. Then her face goes still. Her mouth pars a little more than a sliver, and her hand briefly drops open, spilling some of her parchment to the ground, the pages wafting around her legs like the leaves of a dying tree. Her fleshy eyelids peel back, and her gaze immediately is upon you.
The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Theos Ix Arcanon, Grand Master of the Leaden Key. One of the most elusive and dangerous men Eora has ever known.
How do you know I seek him?
Because you have seen his face, and that makes it a simple matter for me to see it. You even happened to catch him in his ceremonial garb, it seems. It must have been a special occasion.
What can you tell me of this Thaos?
More than most, though very few would know so much as his name. And there is no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The Leaden Key dates back more than 2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Theos was the one who created it. What scraps of evidence exist suggest that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man. Awakened during adolescence with all the knowledge and experience of all his lifetimes. The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit. Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things. But he is said to be one of Woodica's favored, and that old bat was never one to let rules get in the way of favoritism. That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul, and he is known to take possession of others, if their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves. He is not known for his generous supply of pity. He is also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problems.
Of course, more likely than not he will want to kill me. How do you know so much about this man?
The same way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Theos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered his tracks far too well. His manipulations of the course of history are lost to time now, though I believe they were many.
What else is there to know at the leading key?
Precious little, I'm afraid. You may know much of it already. No one member knows the identity of more than a handful of other members. They are kept in the dark of missions they are not involved in, or sometimes of those they are involved in. They exist to hide secrets they themselves don't know, if you can imagine how gullible someone must be for that to appeal. Despite that, they are very good at what they do, owing much to their founder, who will take matters into his own hands when necessary, and he does not fail.
What do you want from me?
Keep me informed. The leaden key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunryd Row will not stop you. Whatever it is they're up to, figuring it out will be of great use to both of us. In your case, it will surely point you to Theos. In return, I will share our knowledge with you as we learn it, and provide you with what assistance I can.
Very well.
If you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. There is much I may be able to do for you.
There is something I can tell you at the leading key operations.
Well, let's hear it.
I found Thaos in Brackenberry Sanitarium impersonating a patient. Yeah, I was thinking about that the man who waits was actually him, because at least he possessed one ability of those mythical, which is jumping from body to body. He was trying to damage the public opinion of Animancy, but it could have been anyone. Now the game confirms it was him.
Forgive me, it is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious. He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep.
Yeah.
This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale. If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us. With Avar's support, we may be able to put a stop to this.
I have more questions.
Yes?
Tell me about this place.
All the things there are to know in this world, and you ask me about work. Deerwood is a rebel country. Conflict is in its blood. If you think a few guards posted in our cities keep chaos at bay, you are very new to town indeed. We are Deerwood's cipher investigators, of course. But what we really are is its last barrier against anarchy. People are more at ease when they believe they are watched over by someone more enlightened than they are. It pacifies them. So that is the image we foster. And we do try to be enlightened for their sake. The knowledge we gather here is Deerwood's standing army in many ways. We learn what's vital and we act on it while Deerwood sleeps, blissfully unaware of the terrifying truths all around them. I wish I could tell people the things I know sometimes, but the truth is I don't think many of them could bear it.
How old are you? She gives a half-hearted gasp and covers her mouth with her fingers. You wicked woman! What are your manners? Were you raised without a shred of decency?
I lost count ages ago. Such a strange thing to celebrate, getting closer to death. Oh, I've had my share of work done to prolong my existence, if that's what you're wondering. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not done here. There are things I still wish to learn. And I'll be the effigy if I let Bereth carry me off before I'm through. There was a time when I considered enlisting the theorems of Pondgrum to extend my life indefinitely. I found the thought of devouring my political enemies to sustain my own life greatly appealing. I must have gone soft with age.
Are you a psychic?
If you are hoping I can look at your hand and tell you whom you should marry, you can just wipe that notion from your mind. I do not know what will happen tomorrow. That is what I pay spies for. Being a cipher is not unlike being a watcher. You notice more about what is already there. Many can hold an object and know where it's been, or peer into the thoughts of people around them. They can also sometimes affect those thoughts, but that would be unethical, of course. A tiny, talented few pick up so much about the world around them, they can get images of things to come, but these are fleeting and unreliable.
But you said you know what will happen tomorrow.
Who said I was talented? I don't. At least not that I can trust. And with me, it's only ever about one thing anyway.
And what's that?
A quiet day at home.
But in his offices as well. Is there a Lord Webb?
There was.
What happened to him?
He believed in dying with dignity. He was old-fashioned that way, my husband. We saw the world very differently, he and I. But he was good to me while he lasted.
How did you come to be here?
Me? I started this place. In a different time, under a different duke. I impressed the duke with my research and my work ethic, and he became possessed of the notion that I would be ideal to lead a secret network of gifted investigators. I don't know how such an idea got into his head.
Let's talk about something else. Have more questions?
Yes?
Actually, I don't. Goodbye.
Try your best not to die out there.
That's what I'm doing. Okay. So, apparently the servers are really fucked. And I'm actually getting hungry. So, I think that will be it for today. Unless I can do something really easy and fast. Let us see. Let's search for this. Actually, no, I have to go. So, thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time when we shall proceed with our fine storyline. Until then, Long live Dunryd. Goodbye and thanks for watching.